Hey, y'all, what's up? OMG. All right, guys, if you are watching me live on the Facebook right now, then you see this microphone in my face. And that is because I am actually recording my very first podcast episode in over a month. I've not put any new content on my podcast in over a month. Shame on me. Oh my gosh. And it is because I got to this place where I was just like, what the heck are you doing, Tiffany? And I really didn't know what I wanted my next move to be. I got to a place where I was like, what am I doing with the Mindset Mama? What are my actual goals? What are my goals with life? What are my goals in general? What are you even doing? What are you doing? And I had to take some time to step back from everything. I had to step back from the Mindset Mama. I had to step back from my network marketing business. I had to step back from all of the things that I was doing at my hands in so many different pots. And I was just like, girl, what's up with you? You gotta chill the heck out and you gotta get a plan. You gotta get something actually rolling. And in the process of doing that, I realized that my heart of hearts, where my soul and entire existence lights up is with network marketing, you guys. I have been in network marketing for 5 years. Oh, I didn't realize it was that long until I just said that out loud. But I have dibbled and dabbled in different network marketing companies over the past 5 years. And some of them were a dibble, some of them were more of a dabble, and some of them were a full-on jump in the water. And this past year and a half with the company I'm with currently has been the best. The absolute best. But I got to a place where my business was not going in the direction that I was hoping. I jumped into this company and I was full force and saw massive success right off the bat. And so that really got me excited. And when things kind of slowed down and I got to a place of resistance with that business, I pulled back. And this is something that I do a lot. This is something that I can recognize in myself throughout my entire life happening. And it's a repetitive cycle that I am going to talk about today that I'm trying to break. And this is why I've titled this episode, The Art of Pivoting and Shifting, and knowing when the roadblocks that are in front of you were placed there by God as a warning. And when you're placing your own dang roadblocks in your life and calling it oh, that's a sign. That was a sign, y'all. And I don't know about you guys, but I have done that so many times in my life. I am as ambitious and as freaking go-getter as I am. I will drop something so fast. I will drop what I am doing and shift into something else and pivot and move and jump from thing to thing. It ain't nobody's business. The second that something is not going the way that I want it to go, I am so good for being peace, bye, because it's not working out the way that I want it to work out. And it's not that I've just quit the second that it gets hard. I will work my butt off even when it is hard. But when I start to feel something is not right, I am so good for just being oh, that's a sign, y'all. That's a sign from God. I gotta go. This ain't for me. I gotta go. And I use these roadblocks as signs from God. I'm doing air quotes because that gives me the way out of having to actually stick with something through the resistance. And I just realized that that's where I was whenever I got to this place where I was just what do I do with this podcast? What do I do with Mindset Mama? And the thing is, I absolutely freaking love the Mindset Mama. And it came to me because I got to a place where in my business, in my network marketing business, things were kind of at a standstill and things were kind of I was at this roadblock, right? I had some resistance in my business. And the Mindset Mama came to me because I had to dive so far deep into personal development, you guys, that I realized, dang girl, you got some work to do on yourself. And I realized that I had so much internal work that needed to be done that I was just like, all right, girl, you gotta take some time. Like you can't be doing no business over here and telling people how to run a business when you gotta work on yourself first. So so that's kind of where the whole idea from Mindset Mama came from, is because I dived head first into personal development because I needed it in that moment. But then I realized just recently, as I was, getting deeper and deeper into this Mindset Mama thing, that I'm just like, whoo, okay, I gotta figure out what I'm doing, y'all. And my heart lies with network marketing, like straight up. I love the community. I love the company I'm with. I love the product that I have. Like, I'm so on fire for it. And it would be straight up nuts, insane, out of control for me to walk away from it. Like, it would just be like the stupidest thing I've ever done. And so I had to take time off, a month and a half basically, from the Mindset Mama podcast to kind of figure out what I was doing. And after this month and a half, I've been talking to my life coach. I've been talking to my business coach. I've been talking to my team. I've been talking to my peoples. All my peoples who I know I go to whenever I need some guidance. And I realized that, like, all right, this is what I want this to look like. This is what, and the cool thing is, like, you do get to decide what you want your life to look like. Like, it's not up to what your life looked like growing up. It's not up to like what the cards you have on your plate right now look like. You get to choose, no matter where you are at right now in this current moment, you can choose to shift and pivot into whatever direction you want to go in, starting right now from this very moment. If you are not happy with the way your life looks right now, you get to decide, hey, this ain't what I was hoping for out of life. Hey, this ain't what I expected life to look like. And you get to choose, and you get to decide that I'm going to shift, I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to do something different. And that's exactly what I did. I got to a place where I was like, this isn't really what I was expecting. This isn't really what I was hoping for. This isn't really what brings me joy. This isn't really what makes me excited to get out of bed in the morning, right? And so I had to figure out, all right, so what do I really want this to look like? So I've spent the past month or so really just diving deep into, like, what the heck do you want your life to actually freaking look like, Tiffany? Like, what do you actually want it to look like? And I want it to look like me being surrounded by other women, other mamas who are passionate and on fire about making a difference in this world, leaving an impact, leaving a legacy behind that is going to shift the way that moms do things, shift the way that moms think about themselves, shift the way that moms provide for their families for generations and generations and generations and generations and generations to come. That is what I want my life to look like. When I go meet my Jesus Christ in heaven, right? I want the legacy that I've left behind on earth to be one that sets mamas free, like for real, sets mamas free physically, mentally, financially, all of the above. I want mamas to realize that you can create the life of your dreams while being the mama of your dreams, while having the bank account of your dreams, while doing all the things that your heart longs for, and that you get to decide that. Nobody else gets to hold the reins on your life. No matter what your husband says, no matter what your kids are doing, no matter what your family says, no matter where you grew up, no matter what education you have, you get to make that decision right freaking now. Right now, you get to decide. You can say, from this moment forward, I am no longer accepting anything less than what I freaking deserve, y'all. And you get to be the one that decides that. And so I said, all right, Tiffany, this is your chance to step into whatever the heck you want your life to look like. And I said, all right, girl, Tiffany, this is what you want your life to look like. And I said, okay, girl, Tiffany, what does that mean? What does that mean you have to do? What does that mean you need to start doing? What does that mean you need to start, focusing on? And that meant that I needed to get back into this podcast and I needed to make a shift. I needed to just pivot just a little bit. And this podcast is now not going to be solely focused on mindset, mama. Like it 100% is still about mindset, because like straight up real deal, if you are a mompreneur, if you are building a business as a mom, 80% of your success is going to come from your mindset, like straight up facts, right? So that is not even like an exaggeration. Like the skill is only like 20% of this thing, right? The strategy is only like 20%. You have to get the mindset on point if you want to actually build a business. So we're still going to focus 1000% on business, but we're just going to drop some little droplets of business knowledge in there too, because so whether you are planning on ever starting doing a business or not, you're going to get as much value out of this podcast as you will if you do decide to, join a business and start a business or do your thing or whatever. It's not going to be solely focused on network marketing, even though there will be a lot of like emphasis on network marketing. But I just wanted my mamas who have been listening to me since day one to know that like the podcast is still here. It's not going anywhere. Like I'm still planning on doing, the thing with this. I'm back. You can come hear me on the weekly basis again. Your girl is back. But there's just going to be some little droplets. It's just going to be a little bit different. It's just going to be a little bit. I'm just going to have a little bit more emphasis on the business side of things as well as the mindset side of things. And I actually did do some like business related stuff before, but I just want you guys to know that like that is now it's going to be purposeful. Now I'm going to have a purpose when I do a podcast related to business strategy or social media or whatever. There's the purpose behind it is to help mamas who are mompreneurs, who do want to create an impact in their family financially, to get value out of that as well. Because my end goal, my end vision of what I want my legacy in life to look like after I'm gone is to have helped moms become better mentally, physically, financially, right? Like that's the thing, spiritually. So those are like the 4 hit points. Like, so on this podcast, you're going to be hearing stuff that is going to help you benefit mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. Those 4 areas are going to be the areas that we're going to hit hard and that we're going to make a big impact with. Are you with me? Are you with me? Can I get an amen? So in saying that, I don't want to like keep going on too much longer. I really wanted to talk about shifting and pivoting and knowing when it is okay to shift and pivot and when it's okay to, move into the next thing, and when it's a sign from God, when God places these roadblocks in our lives as like warning signs. And sometimes we place these roadblocks in our own lives, and sometimes we use them as outlets to like not have to push through the resistance. That's what I kind of really wanted to talk about, but I don't want to stay on here for way too much longer. So I'm just going to touch on this like super quick, and then maybe I'll like dive into it a little bit deeper, like tomorrow or something on a podcast and do another podcast episode. But the reason that I wanted to talk about that is because I almost said, you know what, podcast, it was cool while it lasted, but it ain't for me. I almost said, mindset mama coaching, like me helping other mamas in this coaching thing. It was fun while it lasted, but that ain't for me. And I almost said, this network marketing thing, it was fun while it lasted, but it ain't for me. And that's because I am so used to letting roadblocks, letting resistance come into my life. And what that looks like is when your business slows down, right? It looks like when you're not getting as many people calling up your phone for coaching as you would like. It looks like you're not getting as many downloads on your podcast as you would like or hope or expect, right? That's what it looks like. It looks like things aren't going the way that you would want them to go. And though I call those roadblocks, when like things slow down, when things get hard, when things aren't flowing, right? When things aren't always as flowy, beautiful, amazing as you would like, it is so easy to see that roadblock and just choose to go around it. Choose to turn and say, oh, detour, let me go this way now. Oh, that means I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, that's a sign. Let me choose something else. And that's what I normally do. what I normally do is I see that roadblock and I might try to detour a little bit. I might try to just go around the roadblock. But then if it gets a little bit hard, I'm like, I ain't doing hard. I'm going to go around this other way, and I'm going to make sure I choose something that's a little bit more easy, right? And so I am so used to just choosing the easy way out and not pushing all the way through that resistance, because sometimes on the other end of that resistance, there is bullcrap. And like, right? So sometimes on the other end of that resistance isn't what's intended for us. Sometimes God does place these roadblocks in our lives because what's on the other side isn't for us, right? But then sometimes roadblocks are there because he wants to actually see, are she actually going to try? Is she actually going to, can she handle what I'm about to give her? All right, 1 second, pause for a minute. I have to jump in really quick and make something extremely clear. And this is why I stress the importance of having a life coach, a mindset coach, so much to you guys, because I personally have a life coach and mindset coach, Monique Gaffney, who is freaking incredible. And she actually listened to this podcast episode when I was recording it live on Facebook. And she made a comment that opened up my perspective on a whole new level that I hadn't even thought about until I saw what she said. And so it challenged my thinking to say, you know what, is there a better way I can phrase this so that it makes more sense? And there 100% is. And so what I want to make extremely clear is when I say that God gives us these challenges to see if we are, ready for these things, what I mean by that, I'm not saying that God places challenges on us like purposely. I really and truly believe that we have free will, that sometimes we put challenges in our life and blame them on God, which is exactly what she said to me, that a lot of times we like to say, oh, God was challenging me, and oh, that was a test from God. And that really isn't what the case is. Really, it's our own beliefs, our own energy bringing these negative things into our life. But I do believe that sometimes we have to show and prove to God that we're ready for the next level before he's going to give it to us. Like, God is not going to give us $1 million if we can't show him that we are capable of controlling $1,000, right? God is not going to provide us with the car of our dreams when the car that we're driving right now is trashed, right? Like, so we have to show and prove by doing and taking care of the things that we have in our lives right now before he's going to hand us the next thing. So what I mean by when I say roadblocks and things like that and challenges come into our life, what I mean is sometimes we come up against resistance and we have to show like, hey, I'm ready for the next step. I'm ready for what you have in store for me. I believe that God has everything that we want and that our heart's desire, that he's ready to give it to us when we show up in a way that says, I'm ready. When we show up in a way that says, God, hey, like, let's do this. Like, I'm ready for it. Then he's ready to provide it to us. But the reason that we don't get the things that we want is because we aren't showing God that we are ready and capable of what he has in store for us. If we say, hey, God, like, I'm ready for this next level. I'm ready for this next step. I'm ready for this next step in my business. I'm ready to start building a team, but you can't even lead yourself. Like, God's not going to give you a team of people to lead, right? So like, that's what I mean. And I wanted to make that extremely clear before I put this podcast out to the public and open it up for people to start taking the words that I'm saying in a way that I didn't really intend for them to come out. And even especially because when she's, the comment that she made to me made me think, is what I'm saying really coming across in the right way? If she perceived this in a way that says, that I'm saying God gives us these challenges and makes life difficult, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have to show God that we're ready. And sometimes that looks like us persisting through resistance to show that like, hey, I'm going to be able to handle a team of 500, because even when it's hard for me to handle a team of 10, like, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to push through, and I'm not going to quit just because handling a team of 10 is hard. Like, if you want a big team, if you're in network marketing and you want a team of 50, but you're having a hard time handling a team of 5 and then you quit, do you think God is going to bring you 550 whatever number people? No, he's going to be like, girl, you can't even handle 5 people. What you think I'm going to bring you 50 more people for, right? So that's what I mean by that is like sometimes this resistance comes up, and by turning around and saying, oh, quit, hands in the air, that ain't for me. God's testing me. He's telling me I don't need to have a team. He's telling me I don't need to do this business anymore. He's telling me network marketing ain't for me. That's not what he's saying. He's just saying like, girl, if you can't handle 5 people, you think you can handle 50 people? And so that's what I wanted to make extremely clear to you guys, that you get to have whatever the heck you want in life. Like you really do. It's when you decide that you're ready for it and then show that you're ready for it, that you get it. So let's continue. Let's jump right back in and rock this thing out for the rest of the podcast. And so often I feel like I've missed out on blessings because I go around and I change directions rather than going through that roadblock or figuring out a way to go over it or under it or to the side of it and getting what I deserve and what's truly mine on the other side of it, because I say, oh, it's too hard, I need to go this other way, right? And I'm so used to doing that, and I've done that so many times that now I don't even realize when I'm doing it. Until this past month or so, I did realize it, and I'm like, no, you gotta stop doing that, girl. You have to start realizing when these roadblocks are placed there, because what's on the other side is really like all the things that you want out of life, but you just got to go over it. And so right now I'm at the place where I am going over this roadblock. I'm going over this roadblock in my business. I'm going over this roadblock in my life that was placed there because I'm being challenged by God, by the universe, to see if I can handle what's on the other side of it. And I know I can. And so here I am. I'm going over it. So welcome back to the Mindset Mama podcast, y'all. I'm so excited to bring you even more value and just continue to blow this thing up and continue to make life the most amazing freaking experience for all of my mamas out there. So I love you guys so much. Be sure to leave me a review. Be sure to let your friends know about the Mindset Mama podcast. If you're watching on Facebook, you can search me and find me on the Mindset Mama podcast on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.